Hello, Libra. We are doing your November 2022 reading. I ask my ancestors, spirit guides, familiar spirits to be present during this reading, to aid me in my active divination for the sign of Libra, sun, moon, or rising. Take it where it resonates, and if it resonates, leave it or leave the singular thing that doesn't fit. Whatever feels right, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. All right. Libra. We're doing my personal spread. I call it my spy spread. It's basically just a spread that looks into you or your person of interest, i.e. family member, loved one, romantic partner, business partner, etc. Libra, sun, moon, and rising. Dia, Lampadios, Kledokas, Inodia, Lampadios, Kledokas. I decided this time I'm going to use smaller cards because it was getting kind of crazy. Oh, there's card 8. With the bigger cards, the whole table, and it didn't really fit, so... Oh. King of Swords popping out. Can you see where I'm going with this? Okay, good. I'm done something I can. Alright. Just a few more here. Okay. Ooh, Libra. Okay. Cheers to you, Libra. Oh my gosh, that's spicy. Whew. Okay. Ha! Some of you were going to be hopping around on one foot. Okay. Here we go. So your theme, Libra, for the month of November is kind of a feisty one. Arguments ensue. There is some kind of overall kind of trying energy coming through your reading. This could have to do with what we desire and what we're thinking. Your thoughts might be getting the best of you this month. I don't see that in your thinking sector of this reading, but somebody may test you. I feel like there's a lot of competition going on in some kind of setting. And it seems like you are the victor of this battle that ensues. And it could be in a work sector. It could apply to any aspect of your life, whether it be love, family, relationships. But there is some kind of I'd say like practical combat. No, practicing. People are practicing their skills and against each other. Maybe not working together, more so in a competitive manner. And you might win an argument that may make you feel kind of so about being victorious. You claim your victory over this, battle, war, whatever you want to call it. And you win. So that's good, at least. It might be kind of like, the Five of Swords, they say, like, it's a shallow victory sometimes. So just be careful. Make sure that what you're bringing, Libras are not really considered to be the ones that you have to really watch out for. But because we are, as including myself in this, because I have Libra placements, we are so kind and compassionate and, really looking to make sure that everybody is taken care of and everybody is getting along. And, we host peace. we kind of are the peacekeepers of the zodiac. And when we're in a situation where people maybe take for advantage of our kindness and how emotionally intelligent we are of others' needs, they don't really understand or ever think, because they get so used to us always overcompensating for other people's needs, putting them above our own, that when the time is absolutely necessary and we've done all the thinking and the mulling over of what we should do in a situation that becomes competitive or challenging, sometimes we do take that back seat. But I don't think in this situation you do, and it's going to be quite surprising to everybody else, and it might make people pretty angry. People might think that you did this to, you did this on purpose, or you cheated, or there was some sort of, because I see you being kind of like, and there it is, the sword's in the ground, done. And I say done because the 5 of swords and the 5 of rods add up to a 10, and that means completion. It's over. There's been the full extent of the journey, and now we've arrived at the end to start over in a whole new way and a new beginning. So I think that you're going to put yourself first, because 10 does reduce to a 1. And it's a very singular energy. And people might not be used to that. I think it's good. I think it's real good. In your headspace, you're understanding that you are being emotionally filled up by something new in your life that is a divine gift to you. That you feel your feelings, you're understanding these new feelings that you're having in terms of romance, in terms of this new job, in terms of there's something that's emotionally tickling you right now that is getting you excited, feeling that warm and tingly feeling inside when you're doing something new or sharing time with someone new. This could be you thinking about having a baby, or know you got a baby on the way. I do have the moon and the Empress close by. It could have come after a time of not being able to have children, or not being able to find a partner that was an ideal soulmate partner to have a family with. So you might be doing this singularly. That's one way this can play out. There's a lot of psychic energy here. The Ace of Cups, very psychic card. The moon is the epitome of psychic. It's about secrets coming to the surface. And it's in your intuition sector of this spread. So your intuition is going to be like, whatever secrets, you'll be the one with the secrets this month, period. It's going to be like, boom. It's the third eye opening. It's seeing things that you haven't seen before. Psychologically, it's being intuitive about other people even more than Libra. So Libras typically are very emotionally intuitive and intelligent with other people. But your mind will be operating on a more spiritual level this month. It won't be so rational. So you might be putting your emotional needs, really, before other people. And if that means you having to win and squash something, like totally annihilate something, you're going to do it. And it would be at the cost of others, and that's not usually your thing, but I don't see that being you this month. I think you're going to have this new well of connection to whatever you're doing, and excitement for whatever you're doing, and it's going to mean something to you, and you're not going to want to let this new beginning pass by. You might have a secret love that you're thinking of as well, and this could be like a new lover that you meet at some kind of new age type of environment. It can be like obviously a new baby. You're thinking about having a new baby, or your first baby. It can be somebody you love that is a secret. It could be that you're holding some sort of cup to, because you see the moon card has like these little raindrops, right? These little dewdrops, or they look like, they're supposed to be stars, I guess, but I always see them as like little drops of rain coming down from the moon. Like it's raining out and the full moon's in the sky. And the moon is like the mother, so it's her being like sharing her emotional gifts with us in a mysterious way. So you might get a gift this month, but you don't know where it comes from, or it was kind of like left up to you to figure out. You could have a secret admirer as well, or you might meet somebody, go on a date at night, and really hit it off. However, there are things that might be secret at first or not clear. You will be figuring that out, but I don't see this as a bad thing. I see you as being very on point with your intuition. However, in your communication sector, this is the area where I discuss locality, like in your day-to-day life, people around you in your day-to-day life, your pets, neighbors comes up, siblings and neighbors, really. A sibling could have some issues this month, period, and you're talking to them about it. You yourself could have some financial struggles or stress that you're communicating about, but it seems like you are not aware that there is some help around, so maybe it's a good thing you're communicating. You might also be feeling like what you want to talk about, or what your truth is making people dislike you. Like I see that over here with the theme. So people might not appreciate what you have to say, and it might feel very isolating for a while during this period, because you really don't feel like you have anyone to turn to talk about what you want to talk about, or to share, the conflicts you're having with things. This might be a work situation where you feel like, there are things you want to say, but you can't say them because they won't be well received, or there's no one around to even care or take notice that you're saying something. It might be like you just feel like a broken record and that no one's listening to you, and but there is some help there. So I would look around for that person that can, that feels right to talk to about whatever you're needing to talk about with, or, confess, or just get off your chest something. It might be harder to find that person, though, this month period, unfortunately. You could be communicating about a change with your finances that makes you upset at the workplace, and that might cause some squabbles amongst your coworkers or staff there. It is a card of sickness, because it's not really hitting any kind of negative cards. The moon, I don't know, this new lover that you're thinking about, or this new exciting opportunity that it might bring you less money, or you're going to be talking about how that's not enough money, or they might not make as much money as you thought they did, or they might not have a job, or there's something there. But you also might get a cold. It might just mean that you have a cold and your throat is affected, your voice is affected. And your fourth house of your heart sector and your family and home and your childhood, and something to do with your father. So could be a dad that plays a significant role in this month for you. Your father, grandfather, somebody of the patriarchal line in your family. He's the leader. He's the one that's in charge. So if this isn't somebody external to you, this could be you taking control of who you give your love to, making sure that it is in line with what you desire to manifest in your life, or there's a spirituality with this card, but there's also like, he's the ruler, he's the leader, he rules over his kingdom, right? And he's gotten there by being the one that makes the decision. So you want to be in control at this time of any heart-related matters. You have some foresight. You feel spiritually protected and guided. In matters of love and family. So, or you could be the one that's calling the shots in your family. Now you're becoming the leader of your family at this time. Maybe one of your siblings has gotten ill and you need to take charge of some matters within the family and the home. So I see that being a positive thing and ending up with, moving on to your next sector, which is the fifth house. Children are a big theme in this reading. So if you're not wanting to have children, you should definitely take precautions, because there are a lot of fertility cards on the table. I think the only one that there's like two that are not on the table, but there are quite a few in the tarot that represent having children or being fertile, and most of them are on here. I believe this is Saturn in Pisces. It's building the dream. So you're in control of how you feel, getting in control of how you feel, getting in control of how you want to feel, making sure that people are, meeting you under what your rules are for that. You're creating something beautiful through this process. And the fifth chakra is your self-esteem. So I think that for some reason that your happiness that is going to come up this month is actually going to be fueling you to feel better about yourself. Your family will be inspiring you to do better and feel better. Maybe having more responsibility with your family is going to cause your confidence to increase. Or you'll be feeling more confident about going at it solo and being your own, the mother and father to your child, or, having an alternative family maybe. There is something here about being the leader. So you might also be watching over somebody's family while they are going through something, and you'll be communicating with them about this. But I see that being a big booster in your confidence. You'll be feeling happy, and because you're happy, you'll be building your self-esteem, knowing that you can do it, that you've accomplished something really good for somebody else. It will make you feel better about any of that stuff that's going on in the competition zone of your life. Your sixth sector, sixth house, sixth chakra. All right, so this one has to do with your emotions, your energy, and your creativity. Emotionally, you're going to be feeling like you're moving out of a tumultuous time, a time that was really difficult, and you're headed to dry land, basically. You're just starting to see things start to perk up in your internal world. And energetically, you may be changing or shifting how you've been. So if you were low energy, things might start to perk up for you. If you were high energy before, Mars is in retrograde. So we may need to slow our roll a little bit, or row, because he's rowing his boat there. And he's got those swords stuck into his boat, and they're plugging up those holes. So if he tries to take one of those swords out, he's going to sink, right? You got to think rationally about this next step, okay? You got to be methodical, and that's what he's about to obtain, because he goes to the Seven of Swords, right? So he's trying to leave behind what was conflictual. You're leaving this situation behind. It seems you've won, that's squashed. But whatever you're moving away from, you don't want to take it with you necessarily, but you know that it holds some merit in your mind, because you want to remember how those things went. You want to make sure that if you're in that situation again, you're going to replay it or do it over again exactly how you would do it. You're going to make those decisions. And so his thoughts are balanced. They're balanced because he's emotionally more stable, okay? Or becoming emotionally more stable. And his boat isn't going to sink. He's not going to get emotional about it. He's going to have an even keel. He's going to have just enough water and just enough air. Otherwise, we got a storm, right? So we don't want that. So we're coming out of a time that's been kind of crazy and into a time where we can be more level-headed and emotionally balanced. You creatively might be changing or moving some sort of creative space. You might be moving from one creative concept to another. For example, painting to sculpting. There is some sort of change here that's happened, and now you're moving towards, maybe you tried something and it didn't work out and it wasn't what you thought it was going to be. You'll be moving on to the next thing. All right, so 7th chakra, security, your sexuality. Also, the house of relationships. You're not afraid to go solo this month. You're open to new things, but you are really being discerning about who you let in your life and who stays, because you're ready to cut out any BS. You've been there. You understood this situation. You know what happened up to that point. So you don't have to mull it over in your mind too much. As soon as you get that red flag, you'll be cutting it down. You will probably come off a little icy to other people in your life at this time. Maybe because of this situation where they were like shocked that you took the underhanded, I'm sure that's what they would say about that guy who's one, who normally is always so nice, that you took the kind of cold bitch route, but you're staying strong in that department. I don't see you needing someone else at this time. Very independent, very strong. But don't let that become a bitterness. Don't let that completely shut you down for too long. Like, for a while is okay, but I feel like you will be moving out of this kind of feeling. So the farther away from this you get, the better off you're going to be. Now, what you're grasping for, reaching for, your goals, work or employment. Some of you work with water. I'm just going to say that. This is a very watery card. It represents a sign of Pisces. We have the Queen of Cups and the Moon card and the High Priestess. A lot of Pisces here. So, well, the Moon is more so Cancer, but there's a lot of water energy here. So what I'm going to say, Libra, is that you might be somebody who you want to get going again. I feel like you've taken a time out for long enough and you want to get moving. You might also do something that has to do with the body. It could be yoga. It could be dancing, if you were a dancer. This could be a career that you do or a side hustle. Maybe you want to take a vacation. You're reaching for some kind of enlightenment in terms of maybe you want to go do something and get more active, and I feel like maybe shake off some energy that you've been collecting for a while. You're reaching for getting unstuck. It may have to do with finances, or it could have to do with pregnancy as well, because you might have been waiting for a really long time and having struggles and getting fertility treatments, and it costs a lot of money. It's taken a lot of time, because the Seven of Pentacles is about waiting too. And the Hangman doesn't want to wait anymore. He's been put in a timeout for too long, And he didn't choose it. It kind of chose him. And so it's also a sacrifice card. So you might be reaching for a spiritual guidance, because I see him also as the cross, the crucified one. So if you're you might be looking to God more, or whatever your religious beliefs are, or spiritual beliefs are, you'll be looking for that more in your life now. Maybe you've been waiting for a time where you could be a mother, and maybe that's not been panning out, and so you're reaching for faith now. Some sort of understanding of it all. And you might be thinking about taking some time off to do that. Your burdens you're carrying being the one that's carrying someone else's weight. You might be pregnant, and that's why it's finally come around. Or somebody's mother might be on their mind, and you might be burdened by your mother having some kind of health issues of some kind. You might be burdened by being a mother to someone else's kids while they're going through something. If you are kind of finally getting back and are unstuck with a work project, I see you having had waited a long time because you've been trying to get creative flow going again. Like you felt stuck, like creatively blocked. And this creative side to you is feeling more like a burden now. That's for some of you. Creative control comes into mind too. So maybe you've been waiting for your shot at being able to do exactly what you want when you want, and you're carrying this project to harvest, but it just feels like it's taking so much longer than you want, and you're really trying to get unstuck so you can get it finished. I see that being okay, because the Empress card is typically a really good card. You also could be burdened by any kind of female issues. If you are a woman, female stuff. I'm not going to get into the aspects of what that is. We all know what that is. If somebody has been pregnant for a little while, and with everything going on in the news and everything, that also might be two themes that are coming together. I'm not going to go any further into that. The Emperor and the Empress, the mother and the father, they're right next to each other too. So you might be helping your father with taking care of your mother at this time. If you are married, your husband is very much involved at home while you're pregnant, or your partner. I'm just saying husband because it's the Emperor, but it can be anybody. Burdens you're letting go of. I think think you're letting go of being emotionally immersed. You don't want to be so emotional. You're trying not to get too wrapped up in your emotions. You're letting go of maybe having to be right all the time, or having to be the one with the foresight to know everything before it's going to happen. You're not going to be able to save everybody in that way anymore. You also might be letting go of being so nurturing at this time, or being less emotionally needy. You might not be as emotionally receptive either. You might, yeah, that's what it is. Because she's the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is discernment, immersion. I feel like you're letting go of needing to be loved and receive that love. I think you're being very independent right now in terms of romance, maybe. Now, what's this card here? Card 9. What you're receiving or unaware of or out of control with, taking or making. Now we have the Emperor and the Empress, and we have the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. The King of Swords in reverse is not always the easiest energy. I feel like this person, their truth is the only truth that matters sometimes. And the Queen of Swords is fair, but doesn't take any BS. If this is somebody that somebody might have lied, or the King of Swords is an intellectual guy. He's very wise. He's intellectually a scholar, really. Like he whether it's in books or in life. And I feel like he usually has tactics down. He's very tactile. He's very understanding of how things go. Mentally agile. He's the verbal king. And you might not be aware at this time that you might be becoming or be coming off as very harsh. She's kind of a harsh energy until you really get to know her and you realize, like, she's not a cold standoffish bitch. She's just a little bit on guard, you know? She's got her sword up. She's ready to strike when she needs to, but she's really pretty fair. If you treat her well, and you understand you respect her truth, she's going to respect yours. But when you're in this energy here, this is like maybe letting go of a truth that doesn't serve you. This is what you're unaware of, though. This is what you're taking or making, or This is not thinking clearly. You might not be thinking clearly about the situation right now. You might be a little bit more verbally abrasive. We'll say that. Or your partner is. And you are unaware of the reason why. But this is connected to you being emotionally not as receptive. So what connects the two is the walking away from what emotionally you have been affiliated with or familiar with in the past. So this is a new love language that your partner might not understand at this time. And he might not, or she might not really be that nice about it. They might think that you're being not nice. And so an argument could ensue. And it could be a battle that you win, but you really regret winning. So, because that's your theme. So don't let that, we don't always need to be in control of everything. I mean, I know you like to have control over your home, Libra. I'm a Libra. And you have the Aries card here in the 4th house. You love your home. And you are the king or queen of your home. But sometimes when things, you might start to change, and that's okay. But just take notice of how you're changing or how you're coming off to your significant other, if that is, or the other people in your life, just because it seems like there could be a potential, especially during this eclipse period, because the eclipse is here in the background, for something to be kind of emotionally volatile, or maybe you're realizing that something isn't emotionally serving you anymore, and you're looking for and willing to take a chance on something else, even though you don't know what's out there yet, in order to find some emotional satisfaction. Maybe somebody isn't emotionally filling your cup as much anymore, or you've kind of grown cold to a certain person just because maybe you're not understanding them as much, or they're not understanding your emotional needs and why you're not being as nurturing. You could be starting to really be really driven, and you might come off as not being as receptive to someone's emotional love language. And that might cause them to not think clearly about why you're doing what you're doing. But you very well may be over the emotional past and ready to move forward into something new, whatever that fits for you. Okay. You also could be unaware of the fact that a partner is thinking of leaving and moving on to something else. And I don't see that being your fault. I see that being just you're not as being as emotionally receptive to them, because maybe you're ready for, maybe you had the 9 of cups and you've taken 1 cup off and it's just not enough for whoever's involved. I'm going to move on because I don't want to keep going on just that one section. Now, this is interesting. So, what you're chasing destruction. It's almost like, oh, I didn't even notice this. You might be very involved, and this is going to sound really... There's occult practice here. There's a lot of psychic energy. I got a like occult witchy vibes here, what you're going towards. If you're involved in ceremonial, magic, witchcraft, any kind of manifestation stuff, psychism of any kind, that's here. You're chasing great change. You're running after or into a burning building? I don't understand. Maybe you want to level it all and start over? It's connected to the magician. So you're trying to manifest a great feat, whatever it is, in your life. Create major change external to yourself. That's what it is. You're trying to create major change external to yourself, and somebody else might, and other people might not be understanding why you're changed your approach to life. You want change. You're creating change. You're using what you have and all that you know, all that's available, all the power that's available to you in the universe. You're channeling external energy. Like, it's like he's starting this storm here, you know? He wields the power of nature. What's causing imbalance is you being quiet. It's a very passive card. It's very wise, but you're being quiet in order to be fair in a relationship. But that's just causing some problems, because now you're defending yourself. You're having to defend your own truth now. Something is coming up for you where you are being enlightened. You're chasing enlightenment. You're co-creating with the universe. You're manifesting great change in your external world. It could be a move. Maybe your partner doesn't understand, doesn't want to move, because he's familiar with how things have been going. There's something here about somebody not understanding your emotional needs. You not being as emotionally receptive to them as you have been in the past. And so there's some conflict arising. Now, see, this is a moving card, okay? Moving card here. He's upside down. He's like looking at something upside down. You ever look in a mirror upside down and it's like you can't even recognize where you are? He feels confused by this. But she's in the upright, and she's looking into the reflection of her sword as well. But she's more balanced, you know? She's got her balance. She can see that the past might be catastrophic, you know? Like, in hindsight, she sees how things have gone, and she's kind of learned from her lessons, and she's grown wiser. So whatever decision she's making because she sees how the past went, what she's been through already. But this card here, what's destabilizing you or causing kind of imbalance is your intuition. Your intuition says that there's something just not quite right with this place or this job or this relationship or this place that you've been living or something. Something's not right. And you've been very passive about it up until this point, but I think that you're ready to make some big changes. And someone else in your life doesn't like how you've changed in regards to this matter. Okay, almost done. Now, card 15, what you're running away from or avoiding. You're running away from being the new kid? No. Learning acceptance. Learning to receive a compliment. You're running away from learning more about your divine gifts. You're learning how to emotionally reframe your life, and you're being given an opportunity. You could have been offered an opportunity for a job, to start a job somewhere else, far away, a job that isn't close to where you're living now. And you would be new, and it's kind of a little bit scary being the new kid, but you might be avoiding that opportunity because you like being the person that's really got your skill set down and you know everything, and that just isn't going to cut it. Because you're going to need to be the new kid every so often. It's just that's life, you know. Unfortunately, we all have to go through that. So you might be learning how to accept and hear spirit as well, because I have a lot of epiphanies, downloads, wisdom, and here's this gift. So what you've been thinking about, the Ace of Cups, what you've been thinking about, this new start that's very emotionally fulfilling for you, that you've been thinking about secretly, because I don't think you're sharing this with many people, is coming. And it's almost like you've wanted it so bad, it's manifested, and now it's here, and now you're afraid. You're afraid of not being good enough, of having to work hard maybe for this. You might be avoiding getting a job at this time because it's not as emotionally satisfying to you as what you wanted, what you thought you would be doing. You might be thinking about going back to school or avoiding going back to school to do something that you love, and in order to be able to make money at it eventually as well. This is supposed to be stabilizing you. So whatever you're working on, whatever you're skilled at, whatever your talent, this is a talent card, okay? Ooh, can't really see it. Sorry. Here, let's, is that better? A little bit. Oh, sorry about the lighting, guys. This is like the trade skillsman. This is the guy who's people seek after to do their computer stuff or their, paintings, or this is somebody that does a skill very well or very talented at that skill. And they're learning new ways of refining it because they've mastered all the basics, and now they're learning to create from a place of infinity. See? This is the 8 right? He's got the 8 above his head. He's thinking about what he's going to create next. Okay? And what's destabilizing is the being secret, is the being passive. Be fair to yourself. Make a fair decision for yourself. Speak up. Don't feel like you can't talk. Even if it causes a fight, I think that it's important to speak your truth. Queen of Swords speaks her truth. King of Swords usually speaks his truth. But he might not be coming off as too understanding of other people's truths right now. All right. I see a big blessing regardless. I see a blessing here. You're in control. You want to be in control of your home. You want to be the leader of a home move, of a home project, of something. I think you need to talk more about it. I feel like you need to be not afraid. I think not afraid to talk about change, not afraid to talk about conflict. You might be avoiding conflict as well, especially to having to do with finances and or the tangible things in life. So job, money, where you live, how you live, you know, the day-to-day stuff. What's burdening you now is being the nurturing one. And maybe you want to be a little less emotionally receptive and take care of your own needs more, or what you want more, and other people are just not liking that. What will bring you great happiness is being confident. Maybe having some other people that you can share your life with is really making you happy. Having a lover is really making you happy. But you might have to choose between what you need and what someone else needs. Or the 5th house is the house of creativity as well. So if I look at it from a zodiac standpoint, you're building a dream that you've created. You're building that dream, and that's what you're creating. You're creating an illusion as well. You might be involved in entertainment in some kind of way, or want to move to be in the entertainment business in some kind of way, and you want to bring people along with you. And it might be better for you financially down the road, because this is what's going to cause stability. It might take a while. Your partner might eventually get on the boat, but you might have to move first or be alone for a little while. Set up shop and then have them come to be with you. Nest first and then adopt. Nest first and then have a baby. I mean, you're doing things your own way now, I think. Pisces are very heavy. Cancer are very heavy. Neptune. Venus, of course. The burdens of beauty. Maybe you're afraid you're getting older, you know, and you don't want to wait anymore for anything. It could be for a baby, for to move somewhere and do something. So this is going to be a kind of a challenging period, Libra. I'm sorry. It's going to be decision making that is really uncomfortable. You're going to have to speak your truth when you really don't want to. You're going to feel stuck and like you've waited for a long time for things to progress and to be fruitful, and it doesn't seem like it is, and you're needing to reevaluate and create change. And other people might not be on board with that, or they might not think you're being fair about that, or you might win. You just be careful, because anything you say, even though you're not typically one person to do that, you don't want to make people feel isolated as well. Don't isolate yourself from others. Be careful with what you say to others, so you don't feel like you're ostracizing anybody. Include, but share your truth. All right, Libra. I wish you the best in November, and I'll see you in December. I'm not going to be doing December monthly readings. I'm going to be doing the yearly readings in December for 2023. And I chose to do this because I really want to focus on that. And if I can do another separate December video, I will. But it's going to be a lot it's just a lot for me to do 25 videos in a month right now. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this reading. Take care. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so please. And I will see you in December. Bye.